What's up, guys? B Green Flex here, voice of Flex, back again with another reaction video. It's another fresh and fit clip. I know I've been doing a lot of them, but it's just so easy because they always have things that hit the nail on the head when it comes to like some of the things that I want to, or some of the points I want to get across on this channel, and also because a lot of times when I'm doing these, I'm using a little bit of niche amount of time that I have, and so. They upload like fucking 10 or 15 of these bitches a day. And so it's like, okay, well, it's there waiting for me. And also, I've noticed lately a lot of the clips they've been uploading are very like specific topics, and I like that instead of just overarching some type of general topic. So anyway, hope you guys enjoy. Make sure to like and subscribe if you do enjoy, or if you find any good nuggets of information in here, or if you just think it's entertaining. And also, don't forget to comment down below what your thoughts are, and so on and so forth. And yeah, without further ado, why most men leave their friends for their girls.
Yeah, well,
Oh, also, last video, I noticed on the playback after I uploaded it that the audio was kind of messed up. Turns out my settings for my OBS, the volume was turned down for the desktop audio, and for some reason when I stream my video games, like, it works well with that level, but I don't know why it like changed for recording like actual videos and stuff. So either way, I got it fixed now, so this one should have higher audio for the actual clip I'm reacting to. And going forward, like I said in the comment section of that video, I'll make sure that doesn't happen again. And just a little side note, the next reaction video will either probably be It's Complicated, or will be like another Hodge Twins or something a little bit more, off the wall, not another Fresh and Fit clip. So just a heads up for that.
more. Okay. So, ladies, did you have any questions on the questions for the people, for the guys?
Anything you want to bring up?
Would you choose your best friend over your girl?
Yes.
Your girl got a bad vibe about this one over here. Would you choose him or your girl?
What do you think?
I don't fucking know. I'm asking you.
Friend.
You got bros before hoes.
For sure.
But this is your dream girl. Like, she's like
There's
your dick
always
you
more, though.
swallow. She let you put it in her ass.
You want to hear a joke?
No.
There's many.
There's many what?
There's only one really good friend that I have.
But you never heard of like your girl is your best friend?
No.
I mean, she could be, but she wouldn't be.
So I'm saying your dream girl.
Real quick, two things. That statement is flawed because, yes, in theory, your girl, your wife, whatever, should be your best friend to a degree, because obviously you guys are going to spend a lot of time together. This is the person that you want to spend your life with, if it is your actual like long-term girlfriend or wife. So there is some truth to it, because if you don't even like each other, it's going to be hard to deal with that person for extended periods of time, if not your whole life. But also, at a fundamental level, it's kind of flawed because men and women are very different. And this is the problem that I think a lot of relationships have today, is they go by this feminine ideology of, oh, I want a best friend and a significant other, or, oh, we love spending time together and stuff. And the thing about that dynamic is that it fades out very quickly. That's where the whole like honeymoon phase came into play over the last couple decades, because this infatuation of like finding a person that usually is rooted in lust comes into play. You guys are spending time together, you like each other, love each other, having a bunch of sex, whatever, and then after a few months or a few years, it's like, dang, like, I'm kind of tired of this person. So I think fundamentally we have to kind of get away from that, because your significant other, like long-term partner and or wife, for the for men, is we need that person to just strictly be a good wife, a good future mother, to have those traits that we're looking for, and to take the personality out of it to some degree. Of course, you want them to have some type of personality, because obviously you don't want to just be completely bored around them all the time. But in general, you need the fundamental traits to be there first, the nurturing, feminine, motherly traits to be there first before anything else, instead of looking for all these other things, and then next you have kids with someone that's a crazy batshit crazy bitch, or just in general, she just doesn't really fit the mold of how you want to raise your kids. And then also the second thing I was going to say is this girl literally, I don't know if y'all watch this episode or if you guys even watch Fresh and Fit, whatever, this girl that's asking this question with the hijab on and shit literally converted to Islam that day she came on the podcast. And I remember this because I didn't watch this one all the way through, but like I've seen other clips from it. And I remember like her saying that, and I'm sitting here like, bro, like you may have converted and you might be wearing a hijab and shit, but like you're still sitting here. Oh, she let you stick it in her like, come on, bro. You're disrespecting the culture and the religion at that point.
Girl,
That's
she's your
crazy.
best friend. She does everything
Not
you
to
want. The
him.
same scenario.
Yeah,
It's your
but, like,
best, your dream girl.
As a guy, a girl can't really be your best friend because on the level, of, for example, of brotherhood, she doesn't understand my struggle
Yep,
or my
exactly.
lifestyle.
But you're a Christian and you're supposed to choose your wife. Y'all supposed to choose each other over everybody.
Well,
Just
actually,
panel man.
And maybe a
sober.
Muslim, he can choose his
Actually-
Muslim brother
Well,
over
you said,
me.
well,
man.
you said girlfriend first. You didn't say wife.
Wife, sorry. This girl's your dream girl. She gonna be your wife if she's your dream girl.
the point is that at the end of the day, he has my back.
What if your
So-
wife have your back? Your girl got
She
your back.
can too, but to what extent?
Right.
But I'm saying she the one who gonna give you kids. She the one who you building life with. You can't fuck him. He ain't gonna suck
She
your
could
dick. He ain't gonna
also-
give you kids.
She could also leave when she gets bored, like Ukraine.
You could leave when you get bored, but y'all choosing each
Right.
other. You putting all this extra stuff. It's your dream girl.
No, he's not putting all this extra stuff. He's making very valid points. It's just that you don't like what he's saying, so you're responding emotionally. But he is very right. The thing about, generally speaking, yes, in Christianity and just with religions in general, a lot of times, you do choose your wife, in most scenarios as far as the family dynamic, like that comes first before everything else. But the issue is that that's the presumption that is the dynamic of their family. Yeah, Fresh might be religious, and even he says he doesn't practice as well as he should, and as far as being a good Christian, but just in general, he could literally love that girl to death. She could be his best friend. They could have a family, whatever. But the moment that she gets bored, she could easily say, you know what, I'm out. And so you can't really, it's kind of fucked up to say, but you can't really put all your eggs in one basket. You have to understand that, like, okay, like I said, wife makes it a little bit more tricky, but in general, she said a girlfriend at first. This is a girl that I do, maybe love and I'm attracted to and does have these good qualities. But at the end of the day, she always could change her mind about how she feels about me and just dip out of my life. Whereas this man that's been with me and been grinding with me for years and years and years and is a brother to me is not going to turn his back on me like that. And if he does, it's because of some astronomical reason that we had a big falling out. But that's, that's very strong arm argument. Like it's a very high exception. So point being is that, I have a couple guys in my life that are like brothers to me. And when it comes down to it, I've chosen my girlfriend over them before. And now look, they're still my brothers and those girls are gone. So I know now through experience and through, information and learning that you always do choose your brothers over your woman. And like I said, once it becomes your wife and your family and whatever, that becomes a different dynamic. But in general, like your brothers are never going to leave you. They're always going to have your back no matter what. And that girl, like say for instance, Fresh goes bankrupt one day and, he's at his girl or whatever, his wife, and she's like, oh, you're not the man I married. I'm going to leave now because he's, not making money and whatever. Whereas Myron's still going to be there kicking it with him and being like, nah, we got to fix this. You know what I'm saying? So there's that dynamic is very hard to project into a relationship as far as men and women go. And also, like he said, the woman's never going to understand the struggle. Like, women do go to the gym, and I do think that they should, but they're never going to understand the male's perspective of having to go to the gym, having to stay in shape, having to be a high earner, or at least strive to be, so that way even if you don't become a super high earner, you're still making decent money. Having to maintain your frame and be a strong individual for that said woman or for your kids or, other people in your family and stuff. Like, they're never going to understand these things. So because of that, it's very hard for you to be my best friend because you don't understand what I go through on a day-to-day basis. So
Girl, and she's amazing.
Most
she
niggas
ain't
leaving their girl.
None of that.
She loyal.
She loyal.
She
She
believe in
does
God.
everything amazing. She's your 100% girl, but she got a bad feeling about buddy over here. Like,
Well,
what you doing?
here's the
That was the question.
Okay,
Yeah,
look,
I
that
answered
was
it
the
for you.
question.
I answered it for you.
I'll answer for
What was the answer?
as well. Men are the authority, women are the subordinates. That's how it goes. Your girl can't tell you what you can and can't do, period. That's just not how this goes.
I'll let that slide. I guess.
That's
What
the
do you
truth.
have to say
That's-
about
I mean,
that's the truth.
Like you said, you want a man that leads you, right?
Look, you're in the
So
hijab.
what the hell would I look like taking your opinions on my friend seriously? I'm the man, I'm the leader, I'm the protector, I'm the provider, so therefore I'm the authority. So what I say goes, what you say, It's not really that important.
I'll take your opinion, but
To be no
what, if she
offense.
had, what if she
Men
had
and
a
women,
feeling
men
like
and women aren't equal at
your
all. So like,
homeboy want to fuck her
hold
or
on.
something?
What I'm trying to say is that what your scenario here doesn't exist because a dream woman is submissive and doesn't knows her place.
You right.
So
I
she's
get
not
that.
gonna sit there and tell you I don't like your friend. I don't give a fuck what you
What
like.
is her place though?
Her place is to be a subordinate to a man.
Yeah, we talking
So
general.
you're saying like be submissive to the man, correct?
Yes,
Like,
that's how it's always worked. Men lead, women follow.
Right. So what if a woman's not designed in such a
But
form?
no, I
Especially,
Say that
you
again.
know, that
What
one
if
girl trying to be a
woman's
Muslim.
better
It's
than-
like,
You know, what if,
her
you
opinion
know,
don't
for
matter.
example, like my dad's a 6'5" lumberjack, my mom's 5'2". She's been like she's a sort of an, you know, has a domineering energy about her. So, but their dynamic has worked flawlessly. They've been married for 25 years now, and my dad respects the fact that my mom can be this sort of like all,
On
full
her own.
spectrum.
So you're telling me that
wild
who's the
woman,
breadwinner in the family?
but-
Who's the breadwinner?
My dad, but my mom has 3 degrees. She's like they have a big business. I mean, they have a
Teamwork
thriving
makes the
business.
dream
They have a
work.
thriving
Teamwork.
business now. And the reason why they've been married for so long, my dad hasn't cheated, has never even like considered the possibility, and he
He
never
in
would.
love,
It's
girl.
because his heart
How
is
do you know?
open.
was
His
saying,
heart,
you don't know
there's
that. That's why they're so
absolutely no
together.
fraction of a trust.
so you're
trust.
telling
My
me
parents
that
are the most
you're-
like low
hold
key
on, hold
motherfuckers
on.
on the planet.
So you're telling me that your mom runs that relationship and she wears the pants and it's not your father?
I guess not. That's not necessarily what I'm saying. What I'm saying is there's an environment created where my mom is free to be able to be opinionated, expressive, and be like a grown woman. She's
I
not
never
a
said a
child.
woman.
the
Hold
last
on,
say
hold on.
so.
Right,
hold
but I
on.
can't just-
See,
I can't
look,
pretend
Stop for 2 seconds.
I didn't say that.
What I said was the man is the authority, the woman is the submissive. You immediately conflated that with she's a child, no opinion, etc. What I
Right.
said is that at the end of the day, the man is the leader and has the final decision. I'm not saying her opinion is completely irrelevant, but what I am saying is that the man is the final decision maker.
right.
Right.
So
So
you're-
See, the thing about this is that women tend to hear the term submissive or subordinate or whatever, and the man being the authority or the leader, and they automatically like get this this emotional knee-jerk reaction of like, oh, that means that I can't have a say in anything. I can't talk to him about anything. I can't think my own thoughts about stuff. No, that's not what is being said. The message that's being portrayed is that you can feel a certain type of way about things. You can have an opinion on things. You can research things. You can anything you want when it comes to specific topics. But the issue is that at the end of the day, the man is the final say. So even if it's a group, a collective, hey, what do you think about this? Oh, I think this. And more than likely the girl's going to say, oh, I feel this, But at the end of the day, it's like, okay, all these opinions, going back and forth are being put into the pot. At the end of the day, the man's going to be the one that actually says, no, okay, this is what we're going to do. Whether it's what the wife thinks is right or wrong, that's irrelevant. And that's the point, that's where being a leader and having a submissive wife comes into play, because there's going to be times where you might go with what she says because you think, okay, that is the better option, and her input hasn't brought some light to whatever it is you're talking about. But there's going to be a lot of times where it's not what she thinks is the right play or what she feels is the right play or whatever, and she's going to have to be okay with that because as the man, you're supposed to be the leader, and that's what's being said. But girls always do this because they're woke, feminists, whatever. They always conflate that with just being like, oh, that means you just want a dog, you just want someone to just fucking, shut the fuck up and whatever, which... But anyway, it's just the fact of like, no, it doesn't mean that you can't have opinions or thoughts or hobbies or a job or whatever. It just means that at the end of the day, everything in consideration, as the man, I'm going to make the final say on what happens. And for some reason that they just can't fathom that.
that's not my perspective, but yeah.
Well, what you were saying, because then I asked you, I was like, okay, well, that's not how my relationship, that's not my parents' relationship. And I was like, well, who's the leader in the parents' relationship? Does your mom, does she wear the pants? And you said no. So that means that your father does, correct?
No. There is no leader. It's sort of just a team. And they've stayed together for as long as possible. I think
Every team has a coach. Every team has a
captain,
president. Every
yeah.
team has an owner. At
You
the end
make
of the
a
day,
valid point.
men and women are not
But
equal, and that's
no,
a
they're not
faulty
equal.
mindset. So yeah, so there
how
has
is
to
it faulty?
be.
They've been married for like 25 years.
What I'm telling you is that you probably don't know, but there is a leader in that dynamic to some degree. Someone has to have more power than the other for anything to work. There's no such thing as equality,
Power?
especially when it comes to relationships.
As long as the man knows how to lead, there should be no problem following. But the blind
You don't
can't
like the
lead
terms I'm
blind.
using. You don't like the term submissive. You don't like the term
No, I
power.
don't.
You're
If
more
you
stuck
saw
up.
me,
Yeah.
I am submissive
Yeah.
in sexual
I'd
forms, and I know
rather
you're
a
like,
man
oh my gosh,
lead.
like I do. So
Take
it's
the load
confusing
off
for me
me.
because like I do like a dominant man. I know you're like, well, what the fuck? But like I am submissive, like sexually, and like that's what I like.
That's
See,
I
different.
like
this is
a
exactly why.
domineering man.
Hold on, stop. That
But-
is
Different.
precisely why women can't be decision makers. You just contradicted yourself 1,000%.
But you didn't let me finish my point,
No.
and I wouldn't have
You don't-
contradicted.
No, because what you're saying is on one side, I'm telling you men are supposed to be the leader, authority, etc.
Right.
You literally just responded, yes, I'm attracted to that. But then at the same time,
Right.
you expect him to be submissive to you to some degree, and you want to be submissive when you want, etc.
Right.
Let me tell you something about dominant guys. My way or the fucking highway. I don't care about what you think and all this other bullshit.
Facts.
Like this is why women stay perpetually single. You
Yep.
said that you haven't been in a relationship in a very long time.
Chosen.
Hold on.
No,
Chosen.
no.
Men
That
choose the
has
relationship.
nothing to do with
No,
men.
trust me, I've had multiple men come for me.
choose who
Yes.
gets.
See, and that's another thing that I just can't. Oh, that shit irks me, bro. Like I even they say they're choosing to be single, 'cause it's like, no, you're not. Like, I have multiple men. Yeah, but that means that you don't want those men. That's why it's like, because mine's like you're perpetually single, and it's because the men that you actually want don't want you. Every girl has guys coming after them. That's not a flex. You're a girl. Of course, there's guys looking at you, asking for your number, hitting on you, asking to take you out, asking to be your boyfriend, this, and that. But those are not the men that you want. The flex is the men that you want actually coming after you and you being receptive to it and them wanting to date you, marry you, whatever. Like, when women say that they're single by choice, it's like the biggest contradiction ever, and they always back it up with, oh, I could get a man right now to take me serious if I wanted to. Well, yeah, of course you could, but it's not the guy that you want. And that's the point when Myron makes these arguments, or even like a lot of times, like I've had conversations like this in real life with with chicks or just with people in general, and it's like, no, you have to peel the layer back. You saying by choice because men coming after you and you don't, you're not accepting those men, by definition is not by choice, because that means that the men that you actually want don't want you. If it was choice, that means all factors come into play, meaning, okay, the men that you want are trying to take you seriously and you're not accepting them. But we all know that when women actually have a man that they like and admire and respect, they jump right on the bandwagon of being that person's girlfriend, wife, whatever. So it's just so freaking frustrating when they say that shit, that like, oh, it's by choice. Like, no, it's not. Just because you got freaking Joe over here that's 400 pounds and is in your DMs every day saying, oh, babe, I love you. Like, that's, of course, you're not with him because you don't want him. It's the men that you want actually coming after you. And they seem to, like, not get this concept. It's just so freaking annoying.
The relationship,
want
women
them.
choose who fucks.
Yeah, I don't want them.
So what I'm
Reality.
saying is
It's the
that this.
facts.
And like he said, that's the thing too, is that men choose like the relationships. Like, women give you access to the sex, the man gives the woman access to the relationship. So it's like a lot of times the dude will have sex with you. Well, that dude that you actually want to be with, that you are giving the sex to, is he taking you seriously? Not the dude in your DMs that has DM'd you every day for a year.
What I'm telling you is that you can't have it both ways. If you want a hyper masculine, dominant, alpha type guy, I hate to use that term alpha, it comes with certain types of requirements. That means you're going to be submissive all the time. You're going to listen to what he wants all the time. And this whole feminist bullshit in your head does not exist.
But I would have to disagree
Because
with
you
that
and him are
because
not equal.
I had to see it with my own eyes. I had to watch my dad not be afraid to be. He cannot be emasculated because he is a man. Like, he knows it. He's a 6'5" lumberjack. Like,
That is
he can't-
precisely why
he
just
can't
your
be
mom is with him.
emasculated.
That's
I'm
what he just
saying,
said. That's
I'm
what he
saying
just
it's
said,
like
though.
men when they're standing firm in their masculinity, it
You
cannot
are
be shaken.
contradicting
It cannot be
yourself, bro.
shaken.
Are you listening?
It cannot be.
Okay.
And what
Thank
I'm
you, other
saying-
ladies at the panel. See the
Bruh.
craziness right now.
No, it's not
you're
craziness
not
because you're
listening.
thinking it's black and white.
Side
For
note,
me,
that
it's not.
mic-
I mean, for you,
that
your
Myron
perspective
guy
is black
is
and white.
fire.
24/7, you need to
I mean,
submit.
a man is
24/7, you need to act like you don't know what's going on.
To every divine
I
feminine.
get it. We're counterparts. We're not
Exactly.
equal.
You cannot
Yo,
have
it's
one
really a
without
This is
the
crazy,
other.
by the way.
Being
No, it's
submissive
not. They're not
is not a
listening.
bad thing.
Look,
I never said.
even the girls here at the panel are like confused by what you're saying, because you're saying on one end you want a dominant, assertive guy, but
Right.
then at the other hand you're saying I want to be equal to that man. It doesn't work
I
that
know.
way.
I never said equal. I never used the form equal. I said that they're
You said they're a team. A team
You
implies
said your mom and
equality.
your dad, yeah.
team never implies equality. There's
Yes,
always someone, doing different
Better on
things.
the
Part
Bro,
of
I
the
swear to
team,
God.
different dynamics in the team that make it what it
He's
is.
like,
It's not
yo,
necessarily that you're at the same playing field. So what I'm
I
saying
swear,
is,
bro.
no, but
I'm
what I'm
just
saying is that
shocked.
He's
it's
just
not black.
he's just like flabbergasted. He's just bewildered, and I would be too. And like not like full disclosure, like I watch Fresh and Fit like often. At this point, it's kind of like every day. Sometimes I'll have him on as background noise or whatever, but to a certain extent, like I just have to turn them off for a few days at a time, or even a couple weeks at a time, because I'll sit there and like listen to certain episodes or streams where they have like a bunch of rambunctious feminist girls and they're all talking too much, or they're all just like literally dumb and saying like nonsensical things and not making sense and just logic flying over their head. And I'll be like, bro, like how does Byron do this, bro? Like, and it's funny because I notice now like he's kind of in a more like red pill rage type state where he legit, you could see in his face, like just right there, it wasn't that bad, but I've noticed in the last like month or two, ever since being in the new studio, like there's moments where girls will say some shit and you can just legit like look at him like be like, what the fuck is she talking about? Or like there was the other day of something, I don't know if it was a clip or if it was a stream that they recently did, but he like was saying something to the chick and she was like talking back, and he was just like, he literally just put his hand in his head in his hand and just like shook his head. He's like, and it's just, you can like, I have much respect to him and Fresh and all the guys in the back, just because it's like the amount of patience you must have to be able to deal with this on a regular basis. You gotta think they have a after hour stream 3 times a week, and you can always see the energy shift from the day show to the after hours show, because like during the day show everything's kind of high energy, especially with the call-in shows and stuff. Like everything's cool, like they're chopping it up, they're spitting some games, giving some value and stuff. And then once the nighttime show comes, like it's almost as if like Batman comes out and like you could see just the frustration of like, bro, like what the fuck are you talking about? Hats off to these guys.
And why? That's all I'm it's simple as that. Life is it's too nuanced for that. For me, in my perspective, the way I live it and the way many people lead and live their lives, it's too nuanced for me to sit here and pretend like I have to be like
every
in this
dynamic
tone
of a
submissive.
relationship, there is a defined leader and a follower. Okay, and
Okay.
even in your own parents' situation, which you tried to bring up as an example, which actually proves my point even further.
Yeah.
Your father is the authority and the leader, and he has these masculine tendencies that your mom is attracted to, and that's why it's worked.
My
But
dad
I
isn't the
promise
leader,
you,
though.
I promise you, if it was the other way around and she was the more masculine, etc., the relationship probably would not have
She
stood
is
the test
more.
of time.
Do you want me to be honest with you? She's the one who's more masculine.
What does that mean, though, to you?
She's not more
Genuinely.
masculine. I don't mean
Now
no.
you're switching
My
it up.
dad.
Because
Now
I
she's
didn't
switching
mean
it up.
You're saying
masculine.
you're
No, I'm
masculine,
not.
but
I
what
never.
does that mean?
Dominant
I was
or
never
masculine?
switching
That's
it up.
what I'm trying to
I'm
say.
saying that
She's-
Look at the girl in the
she's not
middle.
domineering. I'm saying
The, like,
she
blonde
is
chick,
probably
she's
more
kinda like,
a leader.
I'm ready
If
to
I'm
I
being
kinda
honest.
get
what
over this
she's
topic.
saying.
She's
I feel
more of
like
the leader.
She's saying like Jay and Beyonce.
As far as taking
kinda
care of
thing.
things,
Right.
like
I get
organizing
that,
stuff.
She
but
ain't
like
saying that.
she's still submissive to what he says, because at the end of the day, he
Not
pays
necessarily,
the bills.
what he just
honestly.
said,
It's
but
not.
that's
She
just
pays
what-
the
At the
bills
end
the
of the
same.
day, she does what he says.
No, she doesn't, though, is the thing. Like,
she
they have a
does.
conversation.
You are very confusing. By
Yeah,
the way.
I'm not
Yeah,
gonna
you
lie.
don't-
What is
You're confusing me
confusing
too.
about it?
You
Like,
don't make coherent, succinct arguments whatsoever,
it's
and you
not an
backtrack,
argument.
and you don't. That's what you're trying to do. You're trying to debate me on the authority in the relationship
No.
and where it needs to lie, and then you're trying to make the argument for equality, but at the same time, you don't necessarily
I don't believe
agree
in
with
them.
equality for yourself, and then you made an argument that your parents are in an equal relationship, but not really, and then now you're saying your mom is dominant, but then you said my dad is hyper masculine.
I feel
it doesn't
not
make sense.
confused at
Nothing you
all.
say makes sense.
what are you confused about? Like, specifically tell me, like,
We
what is
said
it
it
that...
You
like
contradict
15
yourself
times.
In what
several
way?
times
In what way?
during the course of your arguments.
Hold on, you're saying I've contradicted myself because I believe that there are times and places where a woman can be submissive and then times when she can't be, correct? That's why I'm saying I'm
What
contradictory.
I am saying in general
Correct.
is that there always needs to be a leader, and the
It's
man typically needs to
overall.
have
Right, and
that.
I'm disagreeing with you there. That's all that's
By
happening
saying
right
that
now.
your mom wasn't,
There's
but
no
then she
confusion,
was.
there's
so we
no, like-
digress and we move
Right.
on.
Because then you said you disagreed, then you went and used your parents as an example,
Example.
Right.
which
Yeah.
actually proves my point.
How does it prove your point because that's what I was trying to make point. The fact that my mother is
the black
actually
chick
more
on
of a
the
leader.
on Fresh's side, she was like,
said she wasn't.
No, I didn't. You guys
So the
assumed
mom-
that I
the
said
mom
that.
is more
no,
of a
no,
leader,
no.
but the
Backtrack
dad
the
is
video.
Yo, Myra's
You
is
said
so-
that I never
your
said that
favorite.
he
You
was
said that she was.
dominant and
No, but you said that she
submissive.
was, and then
Oh,
you said that she
man.
was. That there's no leader. You said that your
That's
mom
what I'm
was kind
saying
of wearing the
because it's
pants,
like
but
my
she wasn't,
dad's.
then you
I
said
wasn't
that
gonna like
Paying
underplay
the
like my
bills.
dad's
Because I asked
energy.
you-
what it is. Nobody
I asked you
asked
who
you
is the
to
parents in a
say
relationship.
so.
And I
asked
said,
you a
does your
straight
mom
up-
wear
Exactly.
the
Because
pants?
it was.
And then you said no.
I didn't say because she doesn't wear the
But
pants.
he
It
asked you a
confused
straight
me.
question.
Dad wears the pants for
No,
sure.
it's not. It's literally just that they're both doing the same thing, but in
but there's
essence,
got to be
more my
one.
mom.
Like, and see, this is where they're saying you're not making sense because they're right. She kept flip flopping between, okay, dad is hyper masculine and, you know, dominant and all this stuff, and that's what she's attracted to. But also her mom is domineering and, you know, can be dominant as well and wear the pants as well and all this stuff. It's like you keep going between all this shit. But and you said they are a team, and like Myron said, team implies equality and implies everyone being at the same level, same playing field. And when he called you out on that and said, no, there has to be a coach or a president or a CEO or a lead, like there has to be some type of leader, you were like, oh no, well, it's like, bro, you're not making any sense. And he's right. In any type of dynamic when it comes to relationships, whether it be a partnership in business, whether it be a like actual regular relationship, like a man and woman, a gay relationship, a lesbian relationship, a fucking trans relationship, like whatever it comes to any type of relationship, friendship, work, whatever, every single time there has to be some clear-cut line of who carries more of the load, who carries more of the power and authority every time. Because if not, that's how things fall. I remember Dave Ramsey, which they don't necessarily like Dave Ramsey, but shout out to him. I think he is a good, he does provide good information, especially for the general public. But anyway, he said the only ship that fails is a partnership. Something like that. I forgot the exact terminology he used, but something about, you know, partnerships always fail. And at the time, it was because he was listening to a person talk about, you know, them having a business with a certain somebody and things went sideways and all this stuff. But now peeling the layers back, it really goes into everything. Business, intersexual dynamics, friendships. Like, whenever you are in a true partnership where everything is deemed equal, there's never any super progress because you don't have a type of dynamic where someone can say, no, this is what's going to happen. And I think because of that, that's what causes this disconnect and this overall failure, like sunken ship, because there's no captain to say, no, this is the route we're going and this is what's going to happen no matter if you like it or not. And now looking back on that, I'm glad I made that analogy because it really is making me think now. But now looking back on that, it's true, especially in relationships. If there's not one person that gets to say, no, this is what's going to happen and this is how we're going to do it no matter what, to move things along, then it's never going to work. And especially if that person is not the man, it's really not going to work. It has to be the man to be able to say no. Like, I respectfully, you know, don't think your opinion is valid here and we're going to move forward this way. Or like I said before, I think your opinion is valid here. That actually is some good input. I think we should do that in this situation. But ultimately, there has to be the one that makes the final decision.
Does more of like the financial things and the, you know,
Well,
But that's
keeping
getting
stuff,
down to detail. He asked you a
keeping
general.
But
everything
he's the
organized.
But
My
he
mom
pays
provides.
the bill. She
He's the
pays the
No, no,
bills,
no.
but
My
he
mom
makes
provides
the money to pay
Yo.
the
No,
bills.
my
Talking
mom
about
provides the
chores.
same.
Yo, I
They have
know
a
what you're trying to
business
say,
together.
But poor Kayla, she's dealing with this bullshit, man.
I
Kayla, you
know
okay,
she
Kayla?
shouldn't
See, look,
Bubbles.
fresh.
getting
God.
mad, she
I'm
said.
fine.
She
It
said
doesn't.
she was
It
getting
just
mad.
like, again, this is the problem with feminism and this liberal mindset of, well,
There's a little side note. I remember listening to a call-in show and someone was saying how like this the reason why like they don't sometimes like Fresh or rock with Fresh or whatever. He doesn't contribute much, and they were actually using that exact thing that just happened as an example, saying, you know, sometimes you'll make debate points or whatever, but usually Myron's the one leading the conversations and the debates, and you'll just come in with these random little quips or little things like little jokes and stuff, and sometimes they're funny, sometimes they're not, but like, you know, and that's all you really do, and this and that. And one, I actually like Fresh. I think he's cool, and outside of just from watching them a lot and knowing the dynamic, I know he actually does a lot outside of the just regular show that you see on YouTube or on Rumble or whatever. And he has like CEO network and stuff, but all that besides the point. The reason why that's so important, and he actually said this in the call-in episode, is because in situations like this, what did I say literally, 5-10 minutes ago? I was like, the girl in the middle, the blonde chick, is like getting like kind of like frustrated. You could tell she's getting like uneasy, kind of like, of course she hasn't spoke, which girls love to hear themselves talk, but also she kind of is like, okay, like let's move on. Like, I'm so tired of hearing about this, what I'm saying, that kind of energy. And Fresh can pick up on that stuff. So him making these little quips and jokes and stuff and like lightening the mood a little bit is very important because it allows the show to progress. Because now that he's done that, Myron will be able to come in, or the other chick will be able to come in and have like a final like closing kind of debate talking point and move the conversation forward. Or just in general, it allowed everyone to kind of lightly laugh or just get a little moment of of clarity for a second and be like, okay, like cool, we're back to normal, instead of everyone just getting frustrated and angry and worked up and stuff. And that's extremely important on a show like this. One, because when you have that many girls in a room, as we've seen in you know previous episodes from years ago, things can get hot really quick. But also because when you have these type of situations and dynamics for a show such as this one, where girls usually are hearing this kind of stuff for the first time, like if there's no one to kind of digress the conversation and keep things moving forward, you can get so caught up on a topic where, and I've noticed this in older episodes where they'll be on the same topic for like 15, 20 minutes and it'll be like Myron and one other person. They're just like one girl and one girl. And it's like, bro, like 20 minutes has gone by and y'all still talking about the same shit. So it's very important to keep the show moving, keep everyone on their toes, but also kind of feeling light and bubbly and stuff like that. And so, yeah, just thought that was pretty important.
Well,
I'm not a liberal.
Huh?
I'm not a liberal.
You're making a bunch of liberal leftist
Right,
arguments
because
right now.
you're making like there's no like firm stance on anything I'm saying. I'm just a conversation.
Hold the L. You're wrong. Just
No,
you're
it's
wrong.
not an L. There's nothing. You don't have to like point the finger at something. I'm holding firmly in the stance that what I said is that I don't see that a woman needs to be like always submissive 24/7. It's not realistic to me. It's not human.
Yeah,
We are
pretty much
nuanced.
beating
We are
a dead horse at this
multidimensional
point.
beings.
Yeah.
I want to be submissive. I want a leader. I mean, like a strong leading man, but also I lead as well. There are aspects where I have strengths and weaknesses, and
there is a gray area, but the foundation is the man leads, woman follows.
And,
Simple.
and predominantly the man leads, and with anything that's extremely important or serious, the man is the final decision maker, not the
Yes.
woman. See,
I
the problem is
I
that you don't
disagree with
like.
that.
See, you got an issue with the word power, submissive. Because I watch your
Submissive.
face when
No,
I say
I
certain
don't.
words.
People don't like the
Yeah, you do.
submissive
You don't
word.
like. You don't
I
like
like
the
to
terms
be
I'm using.
submissive to a man. Didn't I make that
You don't
clear?
like that
In the
word.
bedroom,
You
you
don't-
said.
yeah,
only
in
I
the
like to
bedroom.
be
In the
there.
bedroom.
No,
You
even
said it
in life.
bedroom.
No, in real life
You just-
situations, like
yo,
I like to
you're
be.
saying one thing.
contradicted
No, I'm not.
everything
You need to
said.
hear clearly what I'm saying. I said
hear you.
it's not black and white. It's nuanced. I like to be submissive in certain occasion, but not 24/7. That's all we're
If
saying
you're-
here.
If
But we
you
can
can't
we
be
can move
submissive,
on.
you'll never.
I said I
you
like to
know,
be submissive.
Get married.
I said I like to be.
Damn. And to a certain, like Fresh just said, to a certain extent, yes, there is a gray area. There is a nuance area, but what they're trying to like, they're not worried about speaking in that or in that nuanced gray area. They're trying to just make the overall general statement that, okay, in the relationship dynamic, there's a leader and a follower. The man needs to be the leader and be the dominant one for the relationship to work. That's all they were saying. And you brought up this whole conundrum of their parents and how you view and all this shit. It's like, no, and that's where it goes back to the conflation of, okay, you're thinking of, like Myron says, the word submission, power, authority, whatever, and you're conflating that into the woman can never have an opinion on anything or never be whatever, and that's not what he was saying. And so you got so lost in the emotional part of it that she's forgetting, like, yes, they never said that there can't be, the girl can't have opinions, or there isn't these nuanced specific scenarios where the girl might, take the lead on something in a very specific scenario. But overarchingly, in general, the man has to be the leader. And it's just that simple. Anyway, hope you guys liked it. Ran on for a little over 30 minutes. Didn't want it to be that long, but I think I definitely did drop some gems in there. And also they dropped some gems, of course, as well. And I also like doing these longer ones now because even though the video itself was 12 minutes, and of course you consider intro and stuff like that, I think it's good to actually kind of pick apart these specific arguments and words and phrases and stuff like that and try and speak into them. Because I noticed before sometimes, I did drag out sometimes, but it would usually be like every other word I would stop and go into a 2 or 3 minute rant, and then I'd let the video play for like 30 seconds and then do another one. Whereas like this one, it's like, okay, it ran for like 3-4 minutes, and then I stopped on a very specific point and really dove deep into that. So hopefully that's better for y'all. And like I said, hopefully the audio is better on this one. It should be. I did a couple test runs before actually recording. So, but yeah, like I said, if you guys took anything away, if you found it entertaining, whatever, make sure to like and subscribe. Another video will be dropping later this week. Got to get back consistent on it again. And like I said, it'll be either It's Complicated or maybe Hodge Twins or just something different, not another Fresh and Fit clip. I try to do like 3 or 4 of these and then switch up to another, type of stuff, and then another couple of them, and so on and so forth. So, and also, like I said, comment down below what your thoughts are. Do you agree? Do you disagree? Do you agree with the girl? Do you agree with Myron? Do you agree with me? What you may have picked up from the video, all that kind of stuff. So yeah, appreciate you guys, and we'll catch you on the next one. Peace.